Today we're going to do a simple lesson on converting percents to fractions and decimals. So first, if we take a percent and we want to convert it to a fraction, all you have to do is write the percentage over 100 and simplify. Let's look at a few examples. So if I have 12%, I'm going to write that as a fraction over 100 and then reduce because they're both even numbers. Well, I know I can divide both of these by 4, and I get 3 on the top and 25 on the bottom. And there's my final answer. Let's try another one. Let's put 40%. Well, I write that over 100 because percent is always over 100, and I get 40 over 100. I can divide by 10 because they both end in 0, and I get 4/10. Well, I know I can still divide by 2 because they're both even, so now I get 2/5, and there's my final answer. Let's look at one last one. What if I have 180%? Well, that's more than 100%, but I still do the same thing. 180 over 100. And I can still reduce. I'm going to divide by 10 because they both end in 0. If you can find a bigger number, that's fine. And I get 18 over 10. Well, they're both even, so I can divide by 2 again, and I get 9 over 5. And there's my final answer. I could change that to a mixed number, but no need to for this type of activity. Let's move on to the next slide. So now, if I have a percent and I want to change it to a decimal, this is really easy. All I have to do is move the decimal over 2 places to the left. So let's look at an example. Let's say I have 45%. Well, my decimal is at the end. I'm going to change colors. My decimal's at the end, and all I have to do is move it over 2 places to the right, so that becomes 0.45. And that's my final answer. Let's look at another one. What if I have 23.4%? That was my dog Ellie barking in the back. So all I do is move my decimal over 2 points to the left and put it there. So I have 0.234, and that's my final answer. Let's look at one last one. If I have 2.5%, I'm going to move that decimal over 2 places to the left, 1, 2. Well, there's nothing in front of that 2, so I have to replace it with a 0, and that becomes 0.025. Okay, so now the last thing we need to do is convert a decimal to a percent. All you have to do is move the decimal over 2 places to the right. So let's look at some examples. My first example is 0.67. Well, I'm going to move that decimal 2 places to the right, and that becomes 67%. No need to use this 0 in the front. Let's look at another example. What if I have 0.258? The rule still applies, and I move my decimal 1, 2 places. So that becomes 25.8%. And one last example. If I have 2.67, I'm still going to move that decimal over 2 places, and it becomes 267%. Now, this is important because you're going to be using this when we learn about solving percents. So that's why we did this quick mini lesson. Complete the assignment and bring it to class tomorrow. See you then. Bye.